In this video, we will work together on this beautiful BMW 6 Series. For this car, I will have a very nice, interesting job, is the coolant line between the heads. For this, I have here some new parts that are required for this job. So I have here a brand new aftermarket coolant pipe, because if I want to use the original one, the time to do that job, the labor involvement, it's so extensive. You need to remove the water pump, front timing cover, everything that's inside there, because the original pipe, it's pushed inside of the engine block from the front. And the aftermarket manufacturers have found a way to do that job way quicker, way easier with a collapsible pipe. You will see that in a second. Also, I have here a brand new cover for the valley. It's an original part, and the gaskets necessary for this type of job. For this, I need to remove the intake manifold, drain the coolant, and everything else will be self-explanatory. I'll start with draining the coolant. I have this fancy equipment for that, but to drain the coolant you can use different methods. After removing the coolant, I was able to pull out almost 1.5 gallons of coolant from this car. Next step is to disconnect the vehicle battery, because I will work with the fuel system. I need to disconnect the fuel line, and I don't want this car to prime when that is disconnected. With a 10mm, we can disconnect the battery, make sure that will stay there. And also, to prevent some accidents, I will secure this engine hood to make sure this won't hurt me. And as you already can see, there are some parts that are missing from this engine bay, this engine compartment, because I did some work on this car, replaced the evaporator and some other things, and because of that, those are dismantled. Next, I need to remove the housing for the air filter, and I need to start to disconnect the wiring harness and intake manifold. This will be a very simple job, because nothing is permanently connected, and I can take out this as an entire unit, one piece. Next, I will remove the PCV breather hose, the positive crankcase ventilation hose. I need to be very careful, but this hose, it's a new hose and wasn't supposed to be so fragile as an old one. Like that. Also, I put this aside. Now I will remove the throttle body. This is not necessary. I will do that because I want to clean it, replace that gasket. Before I will completely remove it, I will make sure that the electric plug is disconnected, because sometimes that it's stuck there, like that. And also, I can put this aside. With the T30, I will pull the screws for these brackets. Like that. And I will need to start to disconnect all the plugs that are connected to this. From here in the back, I need to disconnect the plugs for the intake runners, for the actuators. One, the second one's a little bit lower, like that, and the third one, they are disconnected now. At this moment, I can pull back this part of the harness to have access on this side. I think I can put back, this part of the harness also. Officially, to remove the intake manifold, you also need to remove the injectors with the injector fuel rail. I won't do that. I don't want to do that because I don't want to disturb the O-rings. I don't have O-rings for the injectors, and it's way easier for me if I will remove the electric servo motors for the Valvetronic on the left and right. And if I will do that, I will have access and more room to pull out the entire manifold with the fuel rail on the manifold itself. I also need to disconnect, unscrew the ground connection from this side and from that side. I have a vacuum line there. I need to disconnect the fuel rail from the vehicle, and after that I can pull all the screws for the intake manifold. And another one back here. And to make sure you apply pressure on the servo motor. And also from this side I will disconnect the ground connection from the fuel rail. So on this side everything is almost ready. I need to repeat the steps on the other side. From here in the front I also need to disconnect and plug this vacuum line. Like that. And with an 11mm I can pull out the nuts. And at this moment, the intake manifold is loose. I still need to pull away the harness to have room. For that, I have some bungee cords. Something like that. And last step, I need to disconnect the fuel line, fuel rail. First thing, safety, because fuel can be very dangerous and painful. There is some fuel that will drip from the fuel rail. I'll try to catch it with my rag. And at this stage, I think I'm able to take out the manifold. Like that, and put it aside. And we have access to the valley. I can check the inlet ports on all cylinders. And I don't know if you can see, but there is a little bit of coolant here in the valley from this line, from this adapter. See it? So I need to replace that. Now I can remove this coolant line. It's coolant pipe, it's a pipe. Okay. Next I remove all the screws from this cover. Can put this aside now. With that out of the way, next step is to prepare this area. I need to protect everything because I need to cut that pipe. So I need to put something inside there and on the engine to prevent some metal shavings, metal stuff going somewhere that I don't want to go. But before I will cut it, I will make a hole here. Like that. Okay, now I will put a piece of plywood underneath here. That will be as a mark to see if my tip of the blade will hit on the base. That, and let me see if I can pull it out. Something like that. Now I can pull this out like that, and now with a piece of scrap wood and a screwdriver, using that hole, I will pull the rest of the pipe outside. Yeah, and you can already see the corrosion on the end of the pipe. Now I'm going to remove the old O-rings. From back and from here in the front. Oh yeah. After that I need to clean everything to make sure that I don't have no impurities here in the back, and especially here in the front. And also using a fine metal brush, I'll try to clean this area. Due to that hard to see area, I will use my borescope camera to inspect the borehole where the O-ring will sit. Make sure that everything is cleaned. Let's see, something like that. So you can see it is not clean. So I need to clean it more. quite difficult to clean inside there, and I don't want to leave it like that. I want to clean it to be perfect because I want to have a perfect surface to seal around. I won't like to have leaks, especially on this car. So for that I have plan B. I think I'll take this guy with this guy. So now with this and with the help of the mirror, let me see if I'm able to do it. Yeah, I need more light. Let's see now. Yeah, it's getting there. So after a couple of good minutes, and you can see the contact area, it's way cleaner. Way cleaner. It's much better. So this was a part of that kit, this retrofit kit. This was provided inside of the kit to clean that area, but with this you are not able to do a properly job. You will definitely need something like this. Next step is to mount the gaskets. You see here, these are the old ones. This is a new one for the back of the engine, that side. And here I will use this gasket that was provided in this retrofit kit. Of course, for this gasket, also in this kit was provided this special grease, but this is a normal silicone type, silicone-based grease. This gasket was designed in such a way that when you insert the tube in it, you are not able, mostly you aren't supposed to be able to kink or damage this gasket. You see, there's that beveled edge, and also on the tube we have this smaller diameter with this cone here that normally will force the gasket on the tube to prevent any kink or damage of the gasket. Here in the back there's nothing special, because here in the back it's a normal system that gasket will sit inside of a channel in the engine, but here will be a little bit more important, because normally this gasket will be mounted from outside of the engine with that tube that I have cut. So the new gasket will be soaked with this grease 360, and I will introduce the gasket inside of the hole here, and I will make sure that the gasket will go in that groove and won't go in the front in the water pump. Normally the instructions are require you to remove the water pump to inspect the gasket, especially when you push that pipe in. This is the most important step of this job, and this will determine if this will be a successful repair or a failed one. You see here, this is the correct way that this gasket will supposed to be mounted, and this is the incorrect way. So with this plastic nylon spatula that was provided in the kit, you need to make sure to push this gasket inside of the groove without damaging the gasket, little by little, step by step, until the gasket will be seated correctly inside of the groove. Be very careful not to pinch it, not to damage it. Because if you damage this gasket, you are screwed, because you have only one in the kit. They didn't provide you two. And like that, I need to go all around 360 to arrange the gasket and make sure it's perfectly seated. After a couple of good minutes of working with this gasket, I think I'm almost done. On the difficulty scale, this is a 10 for sure. You can see now the gasket, it's sitting perfect, almost 360. Only that upper part, that small area, will still need to be pushed in. The problem is, it's quite difficult. I'm using this pick tool with this blunt tip. See it, it's blunt, it's not damaging the gasket, but still with this I can damage it, so I need to be very careful. After a while, probably was a good 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes, you can see the gasket, it's perfectly seated all the way around. This is the way that you're supposed to mount this gasket. Now, la pièce de résistance, the pipe. Before I will put the pipe in, I need to grease it. I need to re-grease the O-rings, the front one, the back one and the front one, and to apply a lot of grease to make sure that everything will go smoothly. Next, I will apply a lot of grease on the tube itself, on the pipe. On both ends. Next, the instructions are calling for inserting the rear side, and it's going very easily. And start threading the tube until the tube will go in the front seal. I'm not in the seal yet, you can see the tube is moving. There's a long thread inside of this pipe. I'm almost next to the seal. And now I will pull it. I'll try to spin it. Like that. Now this pipe is fixed. Oh, it's inside of the gasket and it's threaded. Another thing on this particular kit, there's a flange here in the back and you see there is a notch. That notch will need to be aligned with the top part of the engine, because this bottom side of the engine, it's beveled. So it's not straight, it's at an angle, and that's why you need to align this mark from here with the top of the engine. And like that, the pipe was installed. Next I will clean the area to mount the new cover. Cleaning the surface area, it's a simple step. With my plastic tool I will scrape everything that it's embedded in this engine block, in the top of the engine block here, where the gasket of that cover will sit. After scraping all the solid parts with some solvent, I will clean like that. I'll prepare a new cover. The same, I'll use some white lithium grease. Grease the gasket to make sure that this gasket will slide exactly where it's supposed to stay. Like that. I also grease the inside part for that pickup tube, for that small pipe. I will grease inside of the water pump. I will grease also the pipe. I will insert the pipe in the cover, and now I will take them together. I will make sure that the harness is outside. Like that. I push the cover in the back to have room here in the front to align the pipe with the water pump. After that I will pull the cover towards the water pump. Let me pull out the harness first for the knock sensors. Like so. And like that, the pipe is inserted, the cover is aligned with the screws, and at this moment I can put all the screws down except one. And I also have an O-ring here in the water pump that I need to replace. It's this one. You can already see it's damaged, it's square, it's no longer round, and I will replace it with an original one. I will use the same grease and I will try to squeeze it like that, and I will apply a little bit of more grease here. And I still have to mount this water pipe, and the same, I will grease this end for the back and I will grease the front end. I will align it, I will make sure it's straight, I will push it down, and I can finish mounting all the screws. I think I have a problem here. First I need to torque this screw down here because the pipe will be in my way, and after that I can put back that last screw and torque that down. And now I'll start to torque everything back with 10 Newton meter, starting from the middle. This is torqued. Now I can put that screw back. And these two ones are torqued down. Now I can connect back this coolant hose like that, and I can start to prepare it and clean the surface for the intake manifold. And now Now with everything clean, I can put back these brackets for this for the harness, and to make sure they're correctly fitted. Like that. And I can push back the harness, and here also. Everything here is perfect. Next step is to prepare the intake manifold. But the same, before I will replace the gaskets, I need to clean the intake manifold a little bit because it's dirty. Awesome. With the manifold clean, now I can start by removing the old gaskets. And here some new gaskets. The same, I will apply some grease on the gaskets to make sure that they will slide in their place. Nice. With that done, I still have one more thing to do before I'm able to put that manifold back, and that thing is to replace this damaged part. The one that I have here is not the correct shape and seems to be a little bit bigger, but I will make it work. First I need to remove the old one. Oh, it's already failed. Now I need to fish out the broken parts from inside. After that, I'll clean it a little bit. Okay. Oh, every single one failed. And that was the last one. But first I need to search and find some replacement clamps. Those are too small. So it says here 16.8. This it's 17.5. Okay, so let me see if I can use those. First I need to grease this adapter. Next, I will choose one end. I will slip it in, and this clamp is too small. Oh, that is a good sign. It's not going out. So let me go the other way around. Choose the next size over, but the next size over seems to be a little bit bigger. But let's crimp it first, and then we will judge. So I think this is a winner. Okay, but now if I'm thinking better, before I will, come on, go in. Before I will crimp those two, I need to mount it on the engine to make sure the alignment is correct, and then I can crimp them back. Okay, let me see. See, this thing will need to be switched around to make sure that will align with my views. This one, it's already crimped, but we'll go like that. And this one from here, let's see, we'll go on the expansion tank. I think something like that. And now I can crimp these clamps. Now you see me using a longer screwdriver and try so hard to tighten this clamp in this position, and I'm not doing this. It's way easier because I'm thinking in the future, if the owner or someone else will need to work on these lines with the intake on, they will be very happy if they will reach these clamps without any struggle. So next time when you do something, think ahead. Maybe you will be the one that will work again there, so you need to prepare and make yourself a favor. So again, with my charcoal, I will mark these clamps. When I'll do a visual check at the end, I will confirm myself that those have been tightened, those have been crimped. And at this moment, I'm able to put that intake manifold back. I'll take all this out. I will double check and clean the ports. Make sure the sealing surface is free of any debris. I will try my best to look inside. Now I will apply a little bit of grease on the face. I will double check everything is in order. The harness is in its place, all the screws are put back. The vent hose is in its place, this is clipped. This is out of the way. Okay, let me put this like that. Let me take this light from here and put it farther away. And at this moment, I can set down the manifold, and with that in its place, this engine look more like an n62 engine. And now with my favorite torquing wrench, I will torque everything down to 15 Newton meter. This one is done. This one is done. This one is done. Perfect. Now I can reconnect back the fuel line, but before most important thing, the same like always, is to grease the end of this pipe. I saw so many damaged O-rings on the fuel lines because that was not greased, and if you damage that, you need to replace the entire fuel rail. Now I can pull back part of the harness and do this side the same. These brackets are normally torqued to 5 Newton meter. Like that. And now I can put back the eccentric shaft servo motors. And also the screw for the ground connection, and torque everything down to 5 Newton meter. Also the ground screw. Now I will mark them and I repeat the process on this side. Now finally, after such a long time, I can mount this inner firewall piece back. This has 4 10mm screws that it's holding it against the firewall. Like that. Also have a T30 screw up here. That. Also, don't need to forget, there is a bracket for this hose on this side. And it's kept in place by a T25 screw. So this was removed for such a long time that this bracket won't stay close. Just like that, and another one from this side. Let's see if we can make it together. Perfect. With that out of the way, I can start work here in the front. This is the throttle. This. And now the throttle body. So I want to clean the surface. I'll clean it a little bit, but it's cleaned. It's a nice condition. Also, I will replace this O-ring. If you brand new one, I will grease it. And I will mount it back. Finally, torque the screws down. And last on this side is the PCV valve system. Now I will vacuum the coolant system to make sure that there is no leak. I wasn't supposed to have any leaks on the system, but who knows. So I'm going to tank one, vacuum, and on. That means there is no more air to be drawn from inside of the engine. There is no more air to be drawn under this vacuum. So at this moment I will switch to hot vacuum. I will close the air and I will wait a couple of minutes to see if this will start to move. While I'm waiting for the vacuum test to complete, I will wash some parts. Over half an hour later, we are still holding vacuum. That means we are good, we are in business. So at this moment I will reintroduce back the coolant inside of the car. Yes, in tank 1 it's old coolant, but tank 1 was cleaned before I started working on this car. I retrieved the coolant in the tank 1 because that coolant inside of this engine was already replaced by me a couple of days before. So now I will send back the coolant. To do that I will switch from old vacuum to tank number 1, where is the coolant. The system being in vacuum will start to suck the coolant inside of the engine. Oh yeah, we sucked all the coolant. We still have a little bit on the hose. Yeah, it's a good job. Next I will start to mount everything back on the windshield. For this car I have a brand new windshield cover because the old one it's damaged. I'm missing a clip from the other side, but that can be easily ordered at a later date and be mounted. At this moment I won't secure completely these covers here because I still have some work to do on this car. I need to do the brakes, transmission, the alternator, but the most important thing that I need to do, and I don't want to mount this cover permanently, is that I need to do a brake fluid replacement, and for that I need to access the brake fluid reservoir from here. But I can put these things to stay in their place for the moment. I'll temporarily mount back the air filter box with the mass airflow sensor. Just like that. I will reconnect back the battery. I will connect my equipment, the car, and I will switch on the ignition. After scanning the car, I have some errors that I'm not interested in. Next step, we'll go in service function, powertrain, engine adjustment, learn Valvetronic limit position, because I have removed the Valvetronic electric motors. You can hear the electric motors moving. Limit position successfully learned. Okay, finished, closed. Vehicle information on the DME, we don't have any errors, so at this moment everything should be okay. So I'll do my last visual inspection. I'll make sure that everything is back, everything is connected, nothing interfere with nothing else. Feel line connected, everything is back. Switch off the ignition, wait a couple of seconds, switch on the ignition, start the engine. Yeah, it's running nice. Now switch off the engine, switch on the ignition, rescan the car. No errors on the DME. And with this job is done. I will still need to drive test this car to make sure that everything is in good working order, and after that I can say for sure that this was a successful repair. I will leave this car in this state because, as I told you, I still have some work to do on this car. I'll need to remove the alternator. That will be my next job, to remove the alternator, to reseal the alternator bracket. There is a common problem with oil leaks coming from that area. Also, next, after that job, I will need to do a complete transmission service with a rear differential oil replacement. I have brakes to do, 360 on the car, with also brake fluid replacement. For that, you will see it later. With this, I will end this video here. If you find it interesting, if you learn something new, please hit the like button to let me know about that. If you find these videos educational, interesting, consider subscribing, and until next time, you know the drill. Stay awesome. Bye now.